All right, I'll leave you be. Unless you want me to wave at your people.
Got my Uncle Roy over there.
Hey, everybody. I'm going to take my little mini bike ride.
I was going to say, you're going in town?
No, I'm just going to go around the block.
Ah.
It's not good to sit in the camper all day in.
Yeah, we're just chilling outside here in the shade. Let's see here. Bear with me, guys. I'm doing it, as you can see, in landscape mode again, which is normally something I don't do. There we go. All comments is what I want to see, not just highlights. So we got Floss, Adventures of Traveling Mike, Jeffrey Johnson, Linda Barker, Georgianne. We got a bunch of people. William in the house. Thank you guys for coming on over. We're going to have more of a traditional live stream. And hopefully you guys will be able to hear me all right. As you can see, we are outside. A little bit of a weird angle. Welcome in, Kelly. But it is about 90 degrees here in Lake Havasu. So, Rocky, we are relaxing in the shade, aren't we, Rocky? Because you can't sit in the sun for too long. And as Linda's already pointing out, I am taking wardrobe advice from Jack. Nah, I've been... Dare I... Actually, no, I can say it with confidence that Captain Jack is taking advice from me now. Wardrobe advice from me now. Because Georgianne is my witness. When we were at M25, I was walking around without a shirt, and Captain Jack had a shirt on. So, I'd argue that Captain Jack is taking wardrobe advice from me now. But the reason I'm doing it, outside of it being 90 degrees, and, you know, just freaking beautiful, less laundry. Saves a little bit of money. I mean, why not? Instead of wearing and dirtying a shirt every single day when it's beautiful, 90, sunny, like, why not? Why not? Basically, my motto right now is I don't wear a shirt unless I have to go into town. If I'm going into town, going to the store, going to a restaurant or something, then I'll throw one on. But otherwise, nah, we're good. Let me pull the comments back up here. That thumbnail is precious. Get better, Rocky. He was so mad at me when I put that cone on last night. So, speaking of Rocky, I'll try to flip the camera here. Do you have pants on? I have shorts. I do not wear pants unless I am getting paid, basically. Some professional photography gig or something like that. Okay, then I will put pants on. Otherwise, I am wearing shorts, and I kid you not, I have been doing it even when it was 32 degrees outside and I'm in the camper shivering going, oh my god, it is cold. I am still wearing shorts because, pardon my language here, fuck pants. That was one of the things I was looking forward to when I was quitting the job was, I don't have to wear pants anymore. So shorts, yes. And that's, you know, because I'm outside. So, you gotta look somewhat decent. But yeah. As for Rocky, I will try to... Hopefully you guys can see I got a battery charger on the back because the phone's almost dead. Yeah, let me get it out of the way here. There we go. No pants, no shirt, no issues. Exactly, Mike, you're speaking my language. As you guys can see right now, he doesn't have the cone on like in the thumbnail. The vet did tell me to strictly keep it on him for 10 days. So I'm kind of breaking the rules a little bit, naughty. But he is absolutely terrified of that cone, you guys. When he got neutered, he was absolutely terrified of it. And of course, we had the dorm back then, a lot more room. But it just scared the hell out of him. Like, for 4.5 years now, I've had Rocky. And him wearing a cone is one of the moments, like, that I've seen him most scared, basically. That's a really weird way to put it, but... So basically, when he's laying down like this right next to me, I'm just watching him like a hawk, making sure he's not licking or biting his injury. And I don't know if injury is the right word. Wound, I guess I should say. And then making sure if he's laying on this side, because his wound is not present here, it's on the opposite side. Making sure he is laying on something clean like this rug. Otherwise, if he wants to lay in the sun for a little bit and kind of lay in the gravel, I'm making sure that he is laying on his other side so his wound doesn't get dirty. I see Linda asking why the cone. So basically, to get you guys caught up, let's start from the beginning here in Colorado. For those who did not see, in Colorado, Rocky, the whole thing started off with him middle of the night, probably 1, 2 a.m., violently, well, not violently, but, you know, it's terrifying when it's 2 a.m., he was throwing up blood, basically. He was bloody bathroom is the issue. He basically couldn't hold it, had to poop, and when I let him outside, I noticed that there was blood, and alongside that, he threw up. There was not blood in the vomit. That's... You know, you guys that watch this channel for a while, you know that's kind of a common thing when he does get sick, because of the stomach ulcers in the past. So thankfully there wasn't blood when he threw up, but when he was going to the bathroom there was. So I made that post, and that was back in Colorado. I made a post asking for thoughts, prayers, good vibes, etc. Basically what I'm thinking, because we haven't had any bathroom or throwing up problems since, when we were on a hike, I didn't see anything on the trail at all, but we were hiking and all of a sudden I hear a crunch. And I looked and Rocky was eating something, quickly swallowed it. So, you know, having a very sensitive stomach, like his diet is so very specific, you guys. The TREAT word, we haven't been able to do those on live streams because he is so sensitive stomach. I've been trying to figure out what works for him and doesn't make him get sick, doesn't cause the ulcers to tear a hole deeper in his stomach, stuff like that. So I think it was just whatever he ate on the hike, because like I said, we haven't had issues in that regard. What we have had issues with is he ran out of Zenrelia. It is basically a medication for skin allergies. And the entire time I've had Rocky, plus a year before I took him in, I was best friends with his previous owner, back when we were on good terms, and I could confidently say for the last 5 years, he was constantly scratching, just constant scratching, biting the hips, just super itchy. So we got him on that. We had him on that for a significant amount of time. We ran out of it in Colorado, and I weaned him off of it because he seemed to be doing better. And keep in mind, beginning of the year, January, February, March, April, I was spending $1,000 or more every single month on his food, his medications, his vet visits. So year to date, I've easily spent over 10 grand on him. So we were trying to figure out what was the balance, because you begin to start asking and getting questioned about where do you draw the line, and a quality of life situation. So we had to see what he absolutely needed, what was temporary and then could go without later, stuff like that, if you get what I'm saying, if you get the gist. So we ran out of the allergy medications, and within a week or two, I started noticing that he's itching a little bit more again. Okay, I kept a mental note of that. Some itching's not too bad, but if he's just constant, then I'm going to try to figure out whether it's a vet here or the vet back home. I can't believe I just called Michigan home. The vet back there, they can ship stuff out to me here. So one way or another, I'm keeping a mental note, like keep an eye on him, and if I need to, we'll play a card and we'll get that medication back. By the time we got to Arizona, he ended up getting this mass. If you guys are interested, I can show it to you at this point in time, but it turned out to be a hot spot. And I was concerned because he started limping a little bit, and it had a yellowish tint to it. It didn't really look like a pus or anything like that when you think of like an infection. And I was cleaning it every single day, sometimes 2-3 times a day, and I was using a hot spot and wound like lotion as well. But I just did not like, I didn't like how it looked, and I had this bad feeling in my stomach. Basically, I went with my gut, because I've went with my gut multiple times, sometimes even against the vet's thoughts, and then when we get them into a vet, they basically go, oh my god, you were right. So I've learned to trust my instinct, trust my gut when it comes to Rocky here. So I call around, and I was really scared at first because Havasu, back when I was out here with the school bus, all the vets had really bad reviews, and I did not feel comfortable bringing him to any. So I've never brought him to a vet out here specifically. We call around, basically an hour around us. Welcome in, James. Thank you for tuning in. We called vets around us for an hour drive, and a lot of them aren't answering, or I'm leaving voicemails and they're not calling me back, or they're saying it's not an emergency situation. So I ended up finding a vet here in Havasu, only 15-20 minutes away, and all of their newer reviews were 5 stars, and it looked and sounded good. So I called them up on Wednesday, and I explained the situation. I tell them I just want them to get in, get seen, and see if it's infected, like get them on antibiotics as quick as possible. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, it's been a couple months since he saw the vet before we left, so, a normal checkup doesn't hurt anyway, and it gives us a chance to try a vet here, because if I can find a good one, it'll be nice to have in my back pocket. And this place also does grooming, professional bathing and grooming. We always did 2 of those a year. So, trying to learn and find a place. They tell me that it isn't life-threatening, so they can't get me in on Wednesday, but they squeezed me in Friday for an appointment, thankfully. I was really nervous, because they used to have bad reviews. I'm terrified, it's a new vet. How's Rocky gonna react? So I had him wear the muzzle. Even though I know he hates it, he's always scratching, trying to get it off. He wore the muzzle. He was such a good dog that the vets ended up taking the muzzle off right away. No aggression. He knew that we were getting him help. That stuff was good. So, we had an appointment Friday, and sure enough, it is a hot spot and it was infected. So now he is on steroids, antibiotics, back on a different type of allergy medication. We could have went with the old one, but I was talking to the new vet, and there's actually a lot of side effects of having him on that for a prolonged amount of time. So that might have been why he was getting sick as well. Rocky, are you being vocal? And as you can hear, he's barking, he's eating, he's drinking, so that's all good signs. But yes, he's on antibiotics, steroids, a new allergy medication. I always pronounce it wrong. Somebody will correct me here. It's like a Prenzol or something. It's for your stomach, heartburn type stuff, I think. It's, you could get it right at Walmart. You don't need a prescription. And that's what the old vet used to have me do. He just gets 2 pills every morning. So now he's on like 17. He's on probiotics, prebiotics as well. Yeah, he has to take. Thank you, Jeffrey. That's the medication there. And thank you, James, for reminding people to do the thumbs up. So Rocky, as of right now, has 17 different pills that he has to take every single day, more or less, for the next 10 to 14 days. With that, he has to wear the cone so he's not licking or biting at the wound, because that's just going to make it worse. It's going to reopen the wound. It's not going to heal. And I tried to tell him that, and he just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And just, I kept trying to watch him. He just kept doing it the second I walked away. So now I'm staying with him side by side like a freaking hawk, watching him, making sure he's not doing it. And then any time I have to step away, even if it's a couple seconds overnight when I'm sleeping, he's getting the cone, he's wearing it, making sure he's not licking and reopening the wound. So I could kind of show you guys. It is a lot to keep track of, Nancy. It is. Let me flip it. Okay, so give you guys a little bit of a warning here. If you don't want to see this, give me 5-10 seconds, kind of look away from your screen. I'm going to show his little hot spot here, just to those who do want to see it. It is scabbing over a little bit. It is a little dry, so here we go. This is what his hot spot looks like on his back hip. So you can see it's starting to scab over now. Starting to get a lot more dry, but he's been very good. And if anyone did look away, you're good to go now. But that's his little hot spot on the back. Starting to heal, getting better with the steroids and stuff. He hasn't even tried to scratch or lick it or bite it once. Not once since we got him into the vet and got him on this medication. But as Nancy said, it is a lot to keep track of. And all in all, it turned into a $600 visit, which does not, you know, I have some emergency funds. God forbid, working at the college, you have your retirement fund and stuff. You don't want to withdraw out of it if you don't have to. But right now, I haven't had to withdraw out of that for this type of situation. Oh no. I'm so sorry, James. We lost Midnight in dog heaven. I'm so sorry to hear that, James. I was panicking so bad, I can't lie. The night before, and the days leading up to Rocky's appointment, I was sending pictures to AI and talking about what I was seeing and Googling and researching, and I was just so freaking paranoid. And part of it I've learned is some people tend to have anticipation grief. That is like my biggest fear, though, so I'm sorry to hear that. Rocky is doing good, though. I try to remind myself of that. I'm very thankful that we've come a long way from where he was at the beginning of the year, so I know a lot of people were worried. He is doing good. And knock on wood, fingers crossed, he should be on the up and up here. I mean, a hot spot, pretty straightforward. We're going to keep him on the allergy medication. We're going to keep him on the stomach medication, the pre and probiotics. It's going to add up. It's going to be a little pricey, but, you know, that seems to be the magic balance where he's not taking 50 million pills every single day and all of that. Animal vet bills can be outrageous. It really is. For Rocky specifically, being a big dog, a cheap visit to the vet is like $200 to $300. Average visit is about $400 to $700, and then expensive is the $700-800, and that's kind of common as well, or even $1,000. That's kind of common, unfortunately, but we're making do, and we're getting what we can handle and all of that. The biggest thing, the reason it's $600 was such a hard pill for me to swallow is because I have a credit card called the All Pet card, and it's specifically for vet care. You can't use it on anything else, and I have a $1,100 limit on there just for emergencies. Like I said, the most expensive emergencies usually are around $800 to $1,000 for Rocky, so that's kind of a good balance, like, limit. But when I use it back in the UP, I always used to tell the vet, hey, I have the All Pet card. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, you're good to go. You don't have to swipe it, nothing like that. So, I asked the new vet here about it. They've never heard of it. We try to swipe it like a normal debit card because there's no chip. We try to swipe it. That's not working. We try to manually enter the account number and everything. That's not working. So it really sucks because the All Pet card, they actually Googled it and they were really impressed as well. And they were trying to learn more because of how impressed they were. It is a great card because for a $600 visit, you can make monthly payments for 6 months and you get no interest at all. Otherwise, you can pay a little bit of interest and pay it over a year. So that's kind of where I was going with it. Just because, you know, I just got here, I want to, you know, make sure I have enough funds to get through the rest of the year, all of that. And it just would not work, so I had to put it on my normal credit card. And my normal credit card, I pay off every single month in full. I always have. So I don't know how that's going to affect it if I can't pay it off in full at the end of November. I want to scroll back up here and take a moment. I see Georgianne saying she took her cat in to have his teeth cleaned, ended up pulling teeth. He is diabetic. Wow, $1,400. Jesus. That's ridiculous. $1,400. Holy hell. The only time it's like $800 to $1,000 for Rocky is if he has to be put under. And I mean, he's a big dog. It takes more to put him under. $1,400 to have some teeth pulled. Holy shit. pardon my language, but Jesus Christ, that's expensive. Wow. Yeah, Georgianne, check out the all pet card. Talk to your vet, see if it's something they would take. I mean, wow. That's just wow. Yeah, so I ended up putting the $600 vet bill on my normal credit card. And normally that's not an issue. I mean, that kind of balance, I don't want to say it's common, but I've had it before and I tend to pay it off on time. But the problem is we also had some vehicle issues. So some of you might have also saw my post saying I got stuck in a flood area and stuff like that. Well, we were losing oil like crazy. And it reached a point where I was not comfortable. I had to get it done, get it changed, completely start fresh. And that way I knew I'd be good until Havasu, like the last 600 miles of the trip, basically. Well, I went and tried to do it. And Walmart, they didn't replace the filter like they said they did. It was a really freaking old, really fragile filter. It was stuck on there. I couldn't get it off in the back of an O'Reilly's parking lot because they're letting me work there. I spent 4 hours underneath the vehicle trying to get it off by myself. Could not get it off. I spent like $150 on wrenches and tools trying to get it off. Could not get it off. And then those were covered in oil, so I couldn't refund them. So I ended up having to call a mobile mechanic. And when it was all said and done, I spent $250 to get an oil change. And I was stranded for 4 hours, give or take, which, having PTSD from breaking down with the bus, at one point I started entering a panic attack, anxiety attack a little bit, and I recorded that because eventually we're going to make a video on the whole trouble in paradise is what I'm going to call it. But keeping it real and showing you guys that, having some PTSD from that situation, living on the road, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. But the mobile mechanics come out, they eventually get it off, and they said, and I quote, Walmart had that on way too fucking tight. And not only that, it was the wrong filter. It was the wrong filter for my vehicle. So, okay, sweet. We got it fixed. And we're on the road again, right? I just want to scroll up. I see Floss saying most avian vets to walk in the door start at $800, then you get billed for what they do. Wow. That's just wow. We had pet insurance on Midnight. I used to have pet insurance on Rocky. We're going to make a separate video on this too, but I made a post way back in the day. I think it was called PEP. It was something I got from being a Walmart Plus member. Turned out to be a complete scam. When you look them up on the Better Business Bureau and all this other stuff, it screams scam. It's definitely a scam. And I fell for it because Walmart Plus members get it for free. Like, you get vet care and stuff, and then you pay $19 a month for like emergency insurance and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a scam. Screwed me over. And I see Walmart is still promoting it. I reached out to Walmart and called them out. I was not happy. And they're still promoting it. So if you guys are a Walmart Plus member and you see that whole PIP or whatever, pet insurance, don't do it. Just trust me. Mike is saying that card sounds like what Care Credit was years back when we needed help with the vet bill. I think that's actually what the new vet recommended me and gave me paperwork for. So I am going to look into that a little bit and see if I can use it. And look into the other one as well, the all pet card, because I haven't used it anywhere else and I've only used it once since I got it. So, hey Lewis, welcome in. Quick rundown for you, Lewis. Rocky is doing okay, but he's on a lot of medication and has to wear a cone for the next 10 to 14 days. Is basically the quick rundown update of the last half hour. And I had vehicle issues. So going back to the vehicle, as I said, you would think hey, don't do it. No licking. I'm watching you. Like a hawk. Like a hawk, mister. As I said, you'd think it'd be right, or good to go, right? 600 miles, fresh oil change, mobile mechanic. Nope. I get to Williams, Arizona, actually the outskirts, and I'm looking and I kind of need gas. I could make it to the spot, drop the camper off, because I was going to do that anyway and disconnect and then drive to the Grand Canyon and check that out and make a YouTube video on it. And for some reason, I'm like, no, you should just stop right now and you should get gas. So I stopped 15 miles away from my camping spot. I'm getting gas. And even though I just got the oil changed, I'm sitting here and I have this gut feeling. You should check your oil. You should check your oil. And at first I keep brushing it off. Like, you just got the oil change. You're fine. You're going to be good. Or, you could check it tomorrow morning before you go to the Grand Canyon. You've been driving all freaking day. Let's just get to the spot, disconnect the camper, call it a night. But I just can't shake this feeling. You should check your oil. You should check your oil. Fine. I checked the oil. There is not a single drop of oil on the dipstick. So I didn't want to overfill it. I added 3.5 quarts. I always carry some with me. And I basically got to my spot for the night and said, Grand Canyon tomorrow's not going to happen. We need to get to Havasu. We need to hunker down. We need to start figuring out finances a little bit more, getting to work, getting stuff taken care of. I checked. I can't find a leak on this vehicle, so I don't know. But the next day when I checked it again, it was full. So basically I used 3.5 quarts of oil driving 600 miles. Give or take. Actually a little more. Because I drove... No. Why am I saying 600 miles? It ain't 600 miles. It was more like 400 miles. Yeah, like 400 to 500. So I went through 3.5 quarts in about 400 to 500 miles, I believe is what the actual mileage was. And that's my thought. That Floss is saying, that ain't right. So, I don't know. I'm a little skittish. We can't pinpoint it right now. But I wouldn't think it's burning through oil that quickly. But also, you could see some spots where it was dripping before, like after the oil change, but before I knew I was running out of oil. The tire axis has some, and there was a little bit on the filter. But since wiping everything off and getting underneath a couple times with the vehicle running, I can't find a leak. So maybe it was only a temporary thing. I don't know. But we had the vet visits. We had that. I don't know. That's what I was about to say, Kobe. You may be burning oil. Yeah, originally I think I was too. And that's a common problem with these vehicles, these 2008 GMCs. But, God, that is a lot of oil to burn through in such a short amount of time. But keep in mind, I'm trying to do deliveries and stuff. So it's kind of hard to do deliveries when you're having those issues. Let me pull up the comments here. They keep disappearing. I see you're mentioning you agree, so I'm glad I'm not alone there. My Yukon could do that. It needs a new valve cover gaskets. Has to be a leak or it wasn't correctly filled before you left O'Reilly's. Yeah, I don't know. We're trying to pinpoint it, keeping an eye on it, but for now we seem to be doing okay again. From Williams to Havasu, and I've drove in town a couple days here in Havasu, we seem to be doing good. Matter of fact, I was at about 3/4 tank when I got here to Havasu specifically, and I've used half a tank of gas since getting here, not including the drive from Williams to here, and we seem to be doing good. So I see Nancy saying, is it smoking? Well, I haven't really been keeping track of my exhaust behind me, so I don't know about that. But under the hood, it's not really smoking, but there was 2 or 3 times where when I pulled a dipstick out to check the oil, it does smoke. So, I don't know. Again, that hasn't happened since getting to Havasu and checking the oil, so I don't know. I don't know. But it makes deliveries hard. Also makes deliveries hard when I got to keep an eye on him because he's got to wear that cone if I'm not around so he doesn't lick or bite the wound. And, well, we're in a camper. That's not a lot of room for him with this giant freaking cone to be left alone. And then drinking and eating is also harder for him with the cone on. I often, like back at the dorms even, I used to have to lift his water dish and hold it for him so he could drink out of it with those cones because the one he needs is just so freaking massive. So that makes things more difficult. The vehicle makes things more difficult. Then the icing on the cake. I had a monitor for the camper, right? It would keep track of the temps, and I could check it on my phone. It would update every 30 seconds, and I used it in Michigan, stuff like that. Well, when I got down to M25, we had the vehicle plugged in, the camper plugged in, and there was a couple days, not a lot, where it was a little hotter, so I need to run the AC. So I went and I turned the monitor on. It's at like half a battery, 25%. Okay, should probably charge it. Plug it in overnight. Next morning I get up, turn the monitor back on, we go to our activities. And mind you, this is behind the scenes, people don't know this. So I got the monitor on, Rocky's in the camper, we got the AC running. And it's just meant basically if the AC fails, I want to know ASAP so I can get back to the camper. Well, eventually, M25 wraps up, and I look, the battery's still at 25%. Now it's less than 25%. What the hell? I plugged it in and let it charge all night. So I let it plug in, and I charged it for over 24 hours. Nope. It's not charging anymore. So that's another thing. Even if the vehicle was good and Rocky's good, I don't feel comfortable running into town when this monitor is now dead because it won't charge. I reach out to the company and right out the gate at M25, they're telling me, hey, we'll ship one out to you. Well, I'm leaving M25 in like a day or two. Not gonna happen. I reach out to my buddy in Colorado. Hey, since we're going to meet up, this is my situation. I really need that monitor. Can they send the replacement to your place and when we meet up, you could give it to me? Sure, not a problem. He's willing to help me out. So we get to Colorado And a week has gone by since M25. I reach out to the company and I'm like, hey, just wanted to check, when is it gonna arrive? I've officially made it to Colorado. Oh, we haven't shipped it yet. What do you mean you haven't shipped it yet? A week ago, a little over a week ago actually, he told me, okay, we'll be shipping it out to this address, and then just didn't ship it. Well, I'm gonna be staying in Colorado for a little bit of time. When can you get it to me, and I'll let you know if it's worth shipping out. He reaches back out. Okay, we should be able to ship it by this date, blah, blah, blah. Or no, not even at that point. He's telling me, I don't know yet. We'd have to actually ship it to know. And I'm like, well, that ain't gonna work. Like, I'm leaving on this day now. Let me know if you guys can get it there by that day or not. You know what he did? I told him, hey, I'm leaving on Sunday, blah, 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 the date. So I need it to get there before Sunday. Otherwise, I'm gone. I'm leaving. I'm going to the other side of the country. He shipped it on Sunday. So I left. And 4 hours later, I get an email. Your package has shipped. What the fuck? So he reaches out, hey, blah, blah, blah. And I tell him, as I previously stated, I was leaving on Sunday. I have left the area. I'm not there. This order needs to be canceled because I will not be available to pick it up. Well, what's your new address? I don't have a new shipping address. I will tell you, like I said originally at M25. It is going to be about middle of October, end of October when I get to Arizona, and when I get a P.O. box, I can let you know if that's the route we're going to take. Okay, I will reach out and get it canceled, and I'll reach back out to you by end of day. He doesn't reach out to me. It arrives at my friend's house. Great. I talked to my buddy. He was going to buy some books from me. So I just told him, hey, if you're willing, ship the monitor to me when I get the P.O. box here in Havasu. Let me know how much it costs, and we will take that away from the price of the books. Sounds good. Will do. Willing to help me. So here I am. I get the P.O. box. He's shipping it out, so it's going to be on its way, the new one. And the worker emails me again. Hey, we haven't heard from you in a while. We just wanted to check if you got the new replacement, and you're supposed to be shipping the old replacement back so we could check what went wrong with the battery. As I've already told you, and I was blunt this time, pretty much word for word, my email back was, as I've already told you, 4 separate times. I have left Colorado and am not able to get the device. My friend now has to pay out of pocket to send it to me in Arizona, where I've just arrived and was able to get a P.O. box. You will get the old one when I receive it and am able to test out the new one. Oh, we apologize, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to fucking hear it, dude. So there's been some hiccups, with the monitor, with the vehicle, with Rocky's stuff. That's kind of what I've been dealing with behind the scene here. Oh, I was not getting comments at all for some reason. I click on a screen and all of a sudden all the comments are coming in. Sounds like burning. How's the camper working out? Camper outside of the monitor is working out great. The solar panels and stuff are working great. I do need to get some solar panels, some bigger ones. I'll show you guys. Hold on here. This is my uncle's camper over there, but that big panel on the front, I'm going to be getting a couple of those, and that will help me with my microwave and stuff like that. I'll be able to power them more, because right now I could power them, but it drains my batteries pretty quickly because I don't have a lot of electricity coming in from the panels I currently have, basically. They're not bad, they're just only 200 watts. So it drains the batteries quick and it takes a long time for them to catch up. And that's kind of the problem today, actually. I accidentally left the water pump on yesterday when I was doing DoorDash and that live stream. I got back, accidentally leaving that water pump on. It drained my batteries to 12.2 volts, about half. So now they're recharging today. Next month is Becky's birthday. Ooh, I'm gonna have to write that down so I remember. November 28th. Stupid black flies. You're okay, I just checking what side you're laying on. Don't you want to reach through the phone and slap someone sometimes? Absolutely, Floss. Absolutely. It was just so like, what? Are you not reading my emails at all? Like, what are you thinking? I do want to mention too, shout out to Floss. Thank you again for, reaching out to me and wanting to meet up. Unfortunately, when I was kind of going through your area, as you'll see in my video next week, it was still really hot and we just kept cruising. We did a lot of mileage, a lot of Rocky. Don't do it. It's those freaking black flies. I don't think you're even trying to scratch your thing. You're just trying to get the black flies. Yeah, I would have loved to meet up with you, Floss, but it was just so hot I had to keep cruising, and as a result, there was actually like 5 or 6 different people I wanted to meet when I was driving across the country, and I only got to meet up with one just based off the circumstances, but I appreciate it. As if it's odd that people travel with campers. Yeah, right? They just don't listen. I now have 1,500 watts of solar. Wow, 300 amp hour lithium, and can run my AC all day with no... What? Okay, Mike, when you get out here and we meet up, remind me, we need to have a talk about that, because I've been sitting here. I have 200 amp hours of lithium. I was debating about buying a third or maybe even a fourth. And my uncle and I were talking about it because we were like, well, right now, when you don't have a lot of solar, it's not worth having a third battery. And then I was adding it up, and I'm like, I'd have about, 900 watts, roughly, give or take, of solar when it's all said and done. And then we were like, at that point, a third lithium battery, 300 amp hours, would probably be good. But I don't know about a fourth. And, when I'm talking about the vehicle and all of this, obviously I don't have money to go do all of that right now. We're just thinking, I don't want to say near future, but next several months. What could I do to help perfect my, setup, etc.? And I've never heard of someone being able to run an AC practically at all. Until recently, I used to be able to run my bus AC. I had like a portable window one for maybe half an hour, and then it would drain my gel batteries and deep cycle. But yeah, I want to learn that because, I don't know if I'd have enough room for all of that on the camper. And of course, you're adding weight to the camper as well, which I got to keep in mind. But yeah, I wanna learn more. Say I have 300 amp hours of lithium and 900 watts of solar. How long can I power my microwave, for example? Or how long can I power an air fryer? I know there's ways of calculating all that, but I've never been able to learn even though I was in engineering, trying to get a degree in engineering for college, I never learned that kind of stuff. And I've been really trying to find a resource or somebody I could talk to and learn more about that. Sure Thing got great deal with new panels at Christmas time from Santan Solar. $68. Wow! $68 each for 350 watts. That's good to know. Definitely meet up and talk about that, because I was already hoping beginning middle November, if I could afford it. I don't want to cut myself short on cash, but I would like to start upgrading and getting some panels. And I know the people from Kingsman used to sell used ones from businesses, and that's what my uncle's got. That's what I had on the bus. It was 220 watts, I believe, each. But 220 watts, $75 is what those cost. And again, weight, how much room do I have on the camper, etc. But I wanna look into my options, and I wanna do it right and know I have a good setup. I don't know why the comments keep disappearing. This is really screwing with the live stream a little bit. You could have stopped. We have air conditioning in the house, and Rocky would have been welcome. Only problem would have been if he decided to check out the bird and she bit him. Yeah, I don't know how Rocky would react to a bird. I haven't trained him against that, but yeah, we basically, you'll see, because it was a weird timing, really weird days, but we got that video coming out Wednesday. We're probably going to go over an hour here, guys, just a heads up, because there's two things I want to talk about. The videos next week and door dashing. So I do typically Walmart delivery with the groceries. Thing is, just getting here, the back end of the Suburban's filled with tools, my photography, stuff like that. And how will Kobe react to the bird? I'd be sleeping in the camper, Captain. You know that. I wouldn't be going in by the bird. Rocky's the one that can't handle the heat. I can. Unfortunately, I can't, Linda, because my battery's gonna die here. We don't have solar. I don't know. That's stupid. I hate DoorDash. I just got another freaking notification, and it's like, do your first DoorDash for a welcome gift. I did freaking 3 deliveries yesterday. Technically 4 stops. What do you mean, do my first delivery for a welcome gift? Hey, Tina, welcome in. We're just kind of wrapping up, but I will be going for a little bit longer here. Because of everything going on, though, the heat, 90 degrees, Rocky's health, etc. I can't, with the vehicle being full in the back, I can't deliver groceries. I decide to try Uber Eats and DoorDash. So we get that set up. I try Uber Eats. I get no offers. I'm currently in Lake Havasu in Arizona, and it is gorgeous. It was good temps for a while, but all of a sudden now it's shooting back up to 90 for as far as we can see. So I'm gonna be running the generator a bit. Unfortunately, gonna be spending some money on gas, but yeah, we tried Uber Eats, didn't get any offers at all. I switched to DoorDash. DoorDash, you have to schedule. Don't know how I feel about that, mixed feelings, but I get a schedule. So yesterday, before the live stream, we did DoorDash from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Yeah, I did, Tina. We rushed it towards the end. I was going to hang back a little bit, but we had some issues with Rocky's health in the vehicle, and unfortunately I just need to get here knowing that I could sit here for a while and get business taken care of. Do you have two 100? Yeah, two 100 amp. That's correct. I have 2 batteries. They're both 100 amp hours, Mike. Yeah, she's a little bit spoiled. My caregiver has to speak to her and come and give her treats before she can talk to us. Yeah, DoorDash, I did that for 2 hours yesterday. Drove 50 miles, pretty much. Guess how much I made, guys? 50 miles worth of driving, 2 hours. I made, drum roll please, Captain Jack, put the drum roll in the chat. I made $27. $27. So, isn't that bad? I mean, $15, that's pretty, it might as well be. For 50 miles and 2 hours worth of doing it. Like, what the hell? So, yeah. Not worth it, William. Not worth it at all, especially when I might be having oil problems in the vehicle. And my vehicle isn't the most gas-friendly either. Keep that in mind. It's not like 1 gallon gets me, 30 miles or something. Ooh, Tina did DoorDash for 3 to 4 years. I did not know that. I'm trying it here, Tina, and I'm not liking it so far. The whole scheduling and the pay is really bad. Like, really? I did the 3 deliveries, and the 3rd delivery was 2 stops. Here's what it was. First one, $7. Second one, $7. Third one with 2 different houses getting delivered to, $6. And then one more $7 one, I think it was. I did 4 actually. But yeah. Especially that one where it was 7 miles for the 3rd delivery. You had 2 houses, 2 different orders, 2 deliveries on the same trip, 7 miles, but you're paying me $6? What the hell? And that includes tip. So I'm guessing either DoorDash, the base pay is absolute garbage, jack shit, or people out here don't tip. And I laughed. Because when you look it up on a map, Lake Havasu City shows 4 different dollar signs. So you think, oh, it's a lot of money, you're making bank. And there's a waiting list. Because I signed up for all this stuff before I left Michigan. And that was months ago even. Like, when I quit my job, actually, I signed up for this stuff back in July. And there's waiting lists. And that's the pay? Nah, screw that. I have good shit. Buckeye, Arizona is better out there. Oh, the comment disappeared again. Yeah. So, now I'm shifting gears a little bit. I cannot type in chat, so that screws things. I wanted to type in chat, I had a link. Yep, I can't do it. Bear with me. I'm breaking things. Yep, I can't do it, guys. Shit. I have an eBay store now, and I got a decent amount on there. I have my first memoir, my second memoir, digital copy of the book, paperback copies, a bundle, some of my photography products. And the photography, I bought too much. Like I said, there's taking up space in the back of the Suburban, So I'm actually doing a special right now, and this is probably the cheapest you will ever see my metal prints, canvas prints, etc. But they're all on eBay right now, and I do accept offers even. So if you see something and you're like, nah, you know, I don't really want to pay this amount, but I want to support Kobe, and you know, what do you think about this? You can send me an offer, and you know, I need to get rid of some stuff. So, rookie mistake, I overbought. I need to get rid of them. My loss is your guys' gain. Um, the link for that is bit.ly bit.ly/ Kobe's Dream. KOBES Dream. Kobe's Dream. And you can, like I said, find my photography on there. You can find my books. But also, I used to do collectors like items and thrift stores and estate auctions. So I'm doing that stuff still too here. So right now I have a MLB DVD collection for all of the World Series from the very beginning up until 2009. It's a collector's item. And I'm about to list a giant boombox, a portable boombox. It's Beats by Dr. Dre. So I'm going to be posting that on there as well. So that eBay, bit.ly/ Kobe's Dream, that's my main website now. Shopify wanted $400 and I couldn't justify that. And there was all this red tape and stuff. So we're going to eBay. That's what I know as a reseller. Like I said, I used to do estate auctions. I used to thrift store and whatnot. So that's what we're doing. I know how it works. I know the fees, all of that. We're going to stick with it because I know it works and I know it inside and out. So if you guys want to support me, help me out a little bit with the vet visit or vehicle chain. Rocky, what are you doing? Vehicle issues, stuff like that. If you want to shop for the holidays and buy some presents for your family, whether it's the book, photography, collector's items like that boombox, that could be a good Christmas gift for somebody. If you want that kind of stuff, go check out that website, bit.ly/ Kobe's Dream. Another thing with the books is that I'm offering discounted prices for bulk. So if you buy 2 copies, 3 copies, 4 copies, you're going to save some money. Rocky, put your hair down. Behave. There's kind of somebody behind me and he is a little bit sketchy, I think, so I don't know. But yeah, we're doing that. I see Captain asking about the Walmart deliveries. I can't. I need to get the vehicle emptied out, and I can't have Rocky with me in the vehicle when I'm doing those. I could get fired basically. So the Walmart stuff, it's gonna have to wait 10-14 days until he's feeling better and I get my monitor and I can make sure that the camper and stuff is good with the AC and all of that. So kind of sucks, but Walmart delivery, I'm not on the wait list. I am ready to go. Like, I could turn my phone on right now theoretically and get offers. And that, I don't mind. I don't mind going inside the store and doing the shopping and then bringing it to somebody's house. When you compare that to DoorDash, here's what I just was telling somebody else. People were complaining about a Walmart delivery. It was 4 miles, and you had to go inside and do some shopping. I don't know how big it was. No one knew how big it was. It didn't say on the screenshot. But it was 4 miles, $16. Okay. Well, with Walmart delivery, you could basically only do 1 delivery an hour no matter what. So you're going to make $16 an hour off, not every single hour, but you guys get my point. For that hour, you're making 16 bucks. You're only driving 4 miles. That is a great offer in my opinion. I will go inside, I will do that shopping, I will bring the stuff back out to my vehicle, load it up, drive the 4 miles, drop it off, boom. Good to go, 16 bucks. With that too, I get paid instantly. As soon as I drop that off and go delivered, boom, I got money on I got that $16 on my debit card. I love that option. Versus DoorDash, hey, drive 50 miles and we'll pay you 27 bucks. Yeah, no. You're putting more mileage on my vehicle, using more gas, more oil, all of that, more wear and tear. Walmart's going to be the way to go. And that's what I was leaning on originally. I wasn't planning on doing Uber Eats or DoorDash at all. And my uncle even said, he's like, can't you do some Ubering around town? Yeah, theoretically, if I take the dog cover off the back seat and clean out my front seat, I could Uber people around town. And it says if I do 88 trips, for the first 88 trips, I'm guaranteed to make $1,100. Okay. I mean, but I don't know how I feel about that. Driving people around, especially here. I mean, for the most part, if you're driving people, this isn't like some, like Vegas or something where people are flying in and need a ride, and it's a private airport here. So if people need a ride, they're probably out at bars and stuff, and that's going to be late at night, early morning, and if they get sick in the vehicle, like, we live in the vehicle in the camper, I don't like that idea. You could try Shift Smart for Circle K. Nice people at the one closer to the Walmart. I did want, I was going to message you, Captain, to ask more about that. I just want to know my options. It's something I might do. Otherwise, back in, 2021? Because that's the year I took Rocky in. Back in 2021, I was down in Pensacola, Florida, on the Gulf of Mexico. And I was living out of the caravan still, part-time, nomad. And there was an app. I don't remember what it was called at all. But it was meant for nomads and stuff, where you could pull up the city you were in, and it would tell you if there was any jobs. And I remember looking at it, and the pay was decent, and you got paid right away afterwards. And I remember looking up Lake Havasu City just to see, again, know my options. And back then, the Walgreens here was the only one that did allow it, but, the rest, like Kingman and stuff, they didn't have stuff. But Lake Havasu City had, it is a wee bit shady, very much so. But, what was I going to say? Oh, the Walgreens. The Walgreens did shifts, and what you would do is you'd pick up a shift, and you could do it the day of even. You'd pick up a shift, and it would be an 8-hour shift. You get an hour lunch break, just like a normal day at work. Like at Walmart, I used to stock shelves at Walmart. I used to do the grocery pickup at Walmart, stuff like that. You'd go in, you'd stock shelves for the Walgreens here in Havasu, and you'd make 80 bucks. So I'm like, that's not bad. I mean, 80 bucks, and you got it that day. But again, with the hour lunch too, because that's like me working at Walmart back in Michigan. Like, no different. Rocky used to be in my apartment. I'd leave and then go on lunch, come back, let him out for the bathroom, take a lunch hour, boom. Same exact thing, just out here in Arizona. Well, once the temps cool down and I have that monitor, and my uncle, like I was showing you guys at the very beginning, my uncle's here, I could look into that and maybe do a couple of those too. So I have some options, but it's all logistics right now. Rocky's health, the vehicle, the camper, the monitor, the jobs, the deliveries. eBay. It's a lot of freaking logistics. So last thing we'll wrap it up here with, because I see I'm at a minute or an hour 10 now. Last thing we'll talk about is videos next week. Where are we at? Because I've gone off a schedule here, and according to my YouTube, outside of these live streams, I'm still in Michigan. We're still at M25. Have a good night, Lewis and Becky. It was nice seeing you guys. Rocky quit. I knew you were going to do that. Videos. That's what I was talking about. You got me distracted. So, on YouTube, according to my videos, we're wrapping up with M25. That's going to be all my content from M25 here. The next video is going to be coming out Wednesday. It's going to be called Michigan to Colorado. Basically just me driving, and like I was telling Floss, you'll kind of get to see the logistics behind that. It's super hot. Where do I stay? I'm still new to pulling a camper, and I'm going through the outskirts of Chicago. So, I mean, that was a weird sound. How do I handle all of that stuff? We're gonna go to the World's, is it the World's? Captain knows what I'm talking about. The world's largest truck stop. I'm gonna have that in there. Unfortunately, the trucking museum was closed, but I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a tour and you know, check that out, give you guys some history information about it, and we will talk about that stuff. Stay Rocky. I don't know what's going on. That's going to be coming out Wednesday. And then we will have another video on Saturday. It will be some kind of video related to Colorado. Maybe a highlights video or something like that. Probably that, actually, a highlights video. Because those are easier for me to edit. I could tease you guys with a little bit of everything from my time in Colorado. I spent like 2.5 weeks there. And then we could dive into the Colorado series. I only plan on doing one video a week. So it's going to be a lot of Colorado and Utah for the next month or two. That truck stop is west of me. Yep, that one and the Iowa 80 truck stop. Yep, you guys know. So that's going to be Wednesday. It is a longer video. It's already at like 12 minutes. When it's all said and done, I'm guessing it's going to be about 20 minutes, give or take, just like the M25 in-depth video. So we'll have that. But for those who aren't interested in the longer videos, I will make a shorter video at some point specifically on that truck stop. But that's going to be a different day, just kind of a random video. But that's the plan for next week. We're going to get that posted. Me traveling from Michigan to Colorado. And then Saturday we will do a summary video, a highlights video of my time in Colorado, and kick off the Colorado series. So with that, I see I'm about half mile off. I did have you bookmarked, Floss. I did have you bookmarked. I hope you are able to enjoy yourself in your travels. I am very much living the dream, Linda. You know, sure, there's some things to complain about, but that's life. No matter whether you're living in an apartment, a house, a dorm, a camper, Michigan, Arizona, Colorado, no matter what, you're going to have those speed bumps. You take the good with the bad, and vice versa. You make the most of every day, and you simply live in the dream. So, with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up here. Somebody's getting tired of the sunshine. so we're gonna wrap this up, and I'm gonna go figure out something for dinner here. Maybe power my microwave if the battery's charged up a little bit. He hates those flies. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in tonight here, and for yesterday as well. Oh, I will be doing, God, I might be doing a live stream tomorrow. So it is 9:30 a.m. Pacific. That's no, hold on, bear with me guys. You could tell I'm winging this one. 9:30 tomorrow morning in Lake Havasu, they are having an antique vintage car parade. I think that's more of a live stream versus a video, because it's probably going to take a long time. So, yeah, screw it. Tomorrow I am going live. It'll be 9:30 Pacific a.m. What is he doing? I just realized what Rocky. 9:30 a.m. tomorrow Pacific, 10:30 Mountain. So it's gonna be 11:30 Central Time tomorrow. 11:30 Central, 12:30 Eastern is when I will be going live tomorrow. We will be on the main street of Lake Havasu City, and you guys can watch all of the vintage and antique restored vehicles driving past in the parade. If you guys want to check that out, that's what it'll be, 11:30 Central tomorrow morning. Other than that, again, thank you guys for tuning in. Glad you all enjoyed the live stream, and I will see you all, 12:30 Eastern. I will see you all either tomorrow or in next week's videos. Take care, everybody. Oh, and Nate's live tomorrow too. Now take care, everybody. Captain's laughing. I am too, Captain. I am too.